Hi everyone, Crypto Cafe here, and I'm so happy because I have got Andy from Synchrony, which is really exciting. If you guys follow my channel, you will know that I've spoken about Synchrony many times before, ages ago, and I said it's a gem that we need to look out for. So this is like a dream come true, getting Andy on the channel to talk to us. He's gonna run us some really good questions, and he's gonna tell us more about Synchrony, which will be coming out very soon. But he'll give you all the details. So Andy, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, introduce yourself.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having us, on the channel represented here. Love the video that you've done. We just your community and the kind of people that you're trying to reach are really one of our target audiences. So anyway, just a little bit about myself, and then we can get right into the questions. And I guess I could give a little background on Synchrony for those of you who aren't familiar. So my name's Andy K. I'm originally from Hong Kong. I got into crypto actually in 2010, kind of on accident. I was working for a Berkshire Hathaway subsidiary. I was running their research and development division, and I got into it for compliance purposes. How do we encrypt things and send things, sensitive data abroad, that sort of thing. The project fell apart. It was a research and development.
Oh, did it?
I was running research and development. Research and development doesn't always have to turn a profit. So that was one of those things that definitely just started collecting dust. But, I got into Bitcoin because of it.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Yeah. So Synchrony is built off of a mountain of failed projects. It's not like, we're just out of the gate doing really well. But anyway, I got into crypto. My claim to shame actually is the first 150 Bitcoin that I bought I got scammed out of.
No. Oh, you're joking. So say this again. So how many Bitcoins did you buy?
More than El Salvador purchased in the recent dip. But at the time it was worth less than like $200. It's okay. I lost way more than that.
Oh my gosh, Andy, you're ahead of the game.
I lost way more than that. It's okay. My brother always says, you're not in crypto until you've had life-changing losses. So I've definitely covered that base pretty well. So I've always maintained a passion for it. And then, in 2017, smart contracts came out. I got interested again, but I was still so burned from my experience before. I didn't buy a lot of Ethereum. I didn't get a chance to get as wrecked because I was still so bitter. But I was like, oh, smart contracts, this is interesting. Outside of like a store value, we can actually start executing things on chain with the same with the same level of confidence that we are able to, exchange like Bitcoins on this immutable ledger. Thought that was really interesting. 2019 went back to school, and then 2020, got with Andrew again. I've known Andrew, for the co-founder, for about 10 years. Got with Andrew again, and then in February of this year, we started building Synchrony on the back of like quite a few hackathons and things. Actually, the first hackathon I was in was at the end of 2020. It was an NFT hackathon of all things, and so I was trying to collateralize. Yeah, I was trying to collateralize oil transportation trucks. Collateralize the actual oil and then do something DeFi with it, just like track it and help. I don't know. Anyway, so we got into Synchrony. It was kind of like on a fluke. I was been a retail investor for quite a long time. Obviously been a retail investor for a long time. And I was doing all these trades. I was playing around in DeFi summer. I did quite well for myself in DeFi summer, just like yield farming. I was like, oh, interesting. It's like TradFi, but you take it and you do this extra thing. I was like, that's awesome. That's really cool. Talking to Andrew about it, trying to get him to like degen in with me, and he was just getting frustrated because DeFi is complicated.
Yeah, it is.
like I trying to get into like Octofi last year. I was like, okay, it's so easy, guys. All you got to do is go out, buy two. No, at this point I was like so degen into it. I was like, all you got to do is buy two separate assets, contribute to this liquidity pool. Then you get a liquidity token, which is separate from those things. You got to take that, then you got to go to another website, and then you stake that, and you get another kind of token, and then you can sell that token, and that's the profit. And people are like, ooh,
yeah,
what? I'm like, that's how you get 300% APY. Like, I don't know what else you want me to.
Oh my day.
So what Andrew ended up doing was just writing a bot to copy my trades directly. And on Ethereum, it worked at the time, but obviously it's value destroying if you're trying to copy trade something. And so, we started shifting gears towards Solana at the beginning of the year. It was a great move. It was trading. It was trading at like $3 or $6 or something at the time. So
let's not even talk about. We'll talk about Solana in a second. Yeah, it's crazy.
We picked a winner, but yeah, especially what Synchrony since evolved quite heavily since then. We've changed names like 4 times. So we've changed tokenomics like 16, 20 times. Like, we've gone through all these iterations, but what we finally landed on, and I'll try and explain this, is as directly as possible, because you can use all the acronyms and stuff, but customers don't really care about the acronyms. They just want their money to work harder for them. Exactly. So that's what we're trying to do. Synchrony's 3 things. The first thing is copy trading, right? Yep. Just what Andrew was doing. You can copy my wallet from your wallet. It's non-custodial. It's not like you're giving us your money and we'll be like, hey, we'll handle it for you. That's not DeFi. That's not blockchain. That's not what we want to do. It's non-custodial. And then the second component is indexes, composable indexes. Mm-hmm. So it's like an ETF or, the S&P 500, the FTSE 100. It's a collection of assets that are, algorithmically balanced and weighted and reconstituted. So, one of the things we've got coming out is the top 10 tokens on Solana by market cap. So you as a retail user can go out and be like, hey, I don't even want to do the copy trading thing because, just facts. Indexes outperform actively managed funds 80% of the time. I mean, this is a Vanguard study from 2 years ago. That might have changed. I promise you it's still in the double digits, still over 50%. It makes more sense to put your money in these sort of passive investment vehicles. Yeah. Because like I said, people just want their money to work harder for them. Our jobs as builders is to reduce the time from intention to outcome to 0, right? Yeah. So as soon as you think of it, I as a builder should have something that enables that thing to manifest instantaneously. That's a little unrealistic, so we're going to get as close as we can to that as possible. So we have these indexes that individuals can invest for passive investment vehicles, but then also individuals or institutions can actually build their own indexes. And this is actually used also for the copy trading. So if I'm following a stranger on our leaderboard, or if I'm following a stranger from a wallet that I found, so you could just pick any wallet from, if you have a KOL wallet that leaks. I remember Chico Crypto's wallet got leaked a while ago, and it was just like, ooh, look, what's in here? It was a while ago. So it's since changed, but, you can follow, whoever you want. But that opens the door to some sketchy things, because people can make a fake token, or they can just trade into things that aren't exactly favorable, or maybe they just go on a bender and they're just all into meme coins or something. I like things with actual fundamental value. I'm not trying to throw shade, but you know what I mean. Like, so we use the index calculations to help bind wallets to its parameters, right? It's just a calculation. So if it's the top 10 tokens on Solana by market cap, if your person you're following trades outside of that, it's going to ignore that, and it's just going to look at what conditions are satisfied within that calculation, and then your wallet will make trades based off of that. And then the final thing is an analytics platform that kind of underpins everything else. It's we have an API for other building projects to look into. We have like our wallet analysis tool. So think of it like we've got like DeFi Pulse plus ether scan type of thing, but we're making more sense of the data with some on-chain, off-chain data, and we're also working with RPC providers to provide like call data as well. So we have like a pretty interesting collection of data points that we stack up to provide users with, because you don't want to look at spreadsheets. You just want to know, like, hey, should I do this or should I not do this? I want a red, yellow, green light type of thing. I don't want to go through and everybody should always do their own due diligence. Everybody should always do their own research. But I want to do research more effectively, right? Because ultimately, why am I trying to make my money work harder for me so I can spend more time with my family? It's not so or for some people it's so I can buy a Lambo, whatever it is, right? Your time, I'm trying to, that's what I'm trying to optimize here. So anyway, that's me and Synchrony in a nutshell, a big nutshell.
That was a cool nutshell. Oh my gosh, I love that. That was so cool. That was a lot of good information. So I can't believe you bought Bitcoin in 2010. Sorry to digress, but what?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Oh my days.
I have a lot of regrets in my life.
That's madness.
I bought a bunch in 2010. then I just held it and had it. It was kind of a joke. I didn't take it very seriously.
What?
Didn't understand what these wallets were. I was just new technology.
Yeah,
I gotta know what Bitcoin
Never
is.
heard of it.
I'm running the research and development division.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for a Berkshire subsidiary. It wasn't a financial company. It was a shoe company, right? So I was like working on supply chain. I was working on like, internal, external facing applications to help optimize the sales process or, the manufacturing process. None of these things are blockchain, but it's just like, hey, I could, look
crazy.
into QR codes, look into BGB encryption, look into Bitcoin. So yeah, it was cool, and I'm glad that I did it then, because it's given me a lot of chops over the years to kind of step back into it and be familiar with the space.
Yeah.
But then in 2014 or 13 or whenever Mt. Gox collapsed, I had most of my funds on there, and it was a lot more than 100 Bitcoin. It was a lot more.
What?
So
Oh my days.
It was
That's
really
crazy.
bad. It still hurts a lot. Yeah, it still hurts a lot. But I mean, I didn't understand custody. I didn't understand that it wasn't like my bank. I mean, and even your banks, you don't own your funds. You're giving it to them, and you trust them. You're just like, oh, okay, like Chase or Citi or whoever. Here's my money. I trust you're not going to run away with it.
Yeah.
And they're probably not, but they're taking your money and then they're lending it to other people at predatory rates, and you're only getting less than what inflation is.
Basically.
So you're not even keeping up with inflation. Like best savings account that you can get here is like 1 point something percent.
In London, I don't know where you're based in. Where are you based now?
I'm based in the States right now. I'm in the process of moving back to Hong Kong.
Oh, nice.
So.
Very nice. Yeah. Get to travel a bit.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I'm from there originally. Then I moved to the States in 2006.
Do you like it? How you finding it?
I lived in the UK too. I lived in the UK for 2 years.
What part?
I'm
from the UK.
What? In Surrey, in Staines.
Oh, you're not far. I know Staines. I'm from London.
Yeah, LAG. Yeah.
I like that. I didn't know you're from Staines. You're so local.
Yeah, right.
I'm like an hour away. I'm like more like London, central London, but I know Surrey really well. Yeah.
Yeah. The Thorpe Park and everything. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. But it's correct what you're saying. It's like when I look at the interest rates for the bank, they're telling me like I'll get 1% a year. It's ridiculous. Because when you look at what you can make with crypto and passive income, it's crazy. And that's what I tell everyone. But well done to you for being in crypto from 2010. I didn't know it existed. To be fair, I was very, very, very young. 2010.
I got real lucky. It was just happenstance, really. And then I just like happened to stay. Well, and then after 2014, I didn't really do anything for 3 years.
Really?
Because I was just like, I was burned so bad. I don't think I ever want to be here again. Like, anyway, whatever.
But don't worry, you're still ahead of the game.
So.
But it's still good. It's still good. But yeah, Solana, like you were saying earlier on this year, sorry, not this year, last year, because we're in 2022, Solana was so cheap. And I remember speaking about Solana so many times on my channel saying, oh yeah, Solana. Didn't even buy it when I saw it at like $6. And now when I'm looking at it, I'm like, why is it so expensive? It's so crazy. So well done on picking up on that early.
We got real lucky. Like I said, my brother's in the space as well.
Yeah.
He's on the marketing and VC side. So he's
cool.
Been able to provide us with like a ton of very valuable insight from like, the VC side, like what do we look at in terms of projects that are interesting? How do you set up your tokenomics so it's fair to your community?
Yeah.
Who are good advisors? Who are maybe not as good advisors? That sort of thing. So he also, he was very, very bullish on Solana very early on.
Oh, cool.
Because, he, without saying too many, names, he worked with like a lot of people and institutions and things that were very close to the project. And, from a builder standpoint, coming from Ethereum, which is like 13 transactions per second. It's like very, very low
it's so expensive, the fees as well.
Yeah. Even when it was like at $20 for gas on Uniswap.
Madness,
in like
right?
2020, I was like, this is too much.
Have you seen what it is now? Sometimes, like I saw $1,000. I was like,
it was like, I remember like last year at one point, I had to get out of a position, and I paid $350 in gas because I had to get out. I had to break down an LP token, and so it's just like, well, you got to exchange both of them, and you got to find the you know what I mean. I think AMMs are amazing.
Yeah.
I just think that Ethereum Ethereum's always going to have a place.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And we're going to be cross-trained. So Solana is not the final place for us, but if you just look at the numbers, like when scaled 65,000 transactions per second, which is, you know, as much as MasterCard or Visa. Now we're batting, you know, at the same rate as these other big, you know, traditional players that are centralized. So if you can do this in a decentralized manner, then we don't need the centralized guys anymore.
Exactly.
Right? We don't need, you know, these, you know, 2008 is really what sparked a lot of this. I don't know who
2008 did you say?
Yeah, you know, when the housing market collapsed, and then, you know, these bankers, like, you know, only 2 guys went to jail, and they just, you know, and you're probably getting off soon, and like, you know, when they did more damage to the economy than so many, you know, it's just, there's this massive inequality, and you see these people getting all these bonuses. They're getting your money.
Ridiculous. Their bonuses,
you know
though. Oh, my days.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I still think there's a place for them in some sense, but not nearly as much as possible. So that's one of the things we're trying to do, is just beat the banks, or you know, make them more humble, or something like that.
Yeah. Make them more humble.
yeah, right. I mean, they're always out there flexing.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them are really enjoying, you know.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's been great. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, how do you feel like Synchrony has what is it gonna do to change the game? Like, what are the features that are gonna set it apart from anything we've seen?
Well, so I mean, there's a couple of layers to it, right? Well, first of all, no one's doing all of these things together, right? And we have very distinct customers we're targeting, but it's not like, oh, we're biting off too much more than we can chew, because everything's related to each other, right? You need the analytics platform to understand what you're looking at, to make these decisions, right? So this is like this fundamental thing that we want to use, and we also want to be an infrastructure level project as well. Then you get like, and within there, you have your retail users who are going to use it to see, oh, is the wallet I'm looking at, is this going to be a worthwhile trade? To see like how the market's looking, to do their research on new projects that are coming out, like to, you know what I mean? There's like a lot of information there. And then we also have a ton of social features that we're building out, which sound like, oh, do we need another social network? No, we're not trying to, you know, I remember when Facebook came out and I was doing the research and development thing, people were like, I got this great idea, Andy. It's like Facebook, but no. We're not trying to do, it's like
I remember
Facebook,
when Instagram came out, actually. Yeah, I remember those days. When Instagram,
it's just
when
it's
Instagram
like this,
came out, it's crazy.
And I get it. You want to have a one-liner to define your thing, but we're having these social features because social networks can help you make those decisions.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Telegram's such a, which, I mean,
brilliant.
Everybody's all over Telegram.
I'm always online on Telegram.
Always on
AMAs, everything.
all of this stuff. But it's just like, people get information there. And, you know, people want other opinions. And people want to engage in these communities. I mean, we can talk about, like, you know, how, you know, isolated a lot of people feel, like, socially. So, you know, there's this aspect of it. But, you know, from a more practical Synchrony standpoint, there's a lot of these social features. We think that, you know, people can comment on things, people can share things, people can bring more people into the fold, right? Because the market cap's only going to grow, and, you know, it's also our responsibility as builders to help onboard new users who are interested, because there's not a single person that I know who is not interested in crypto, right? It's just, as soon as I'm like, oh, well, the immutable ledger and the,
they're like, what?
Polkadot's interoperability and
the parachains.
Like, I don't know. I know what some of those words mean. Like, I know what Polkadots are, but I don't think you're talking about the Polkadot I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So it's just like, how do we distill this into more digestible things for people? So we have this, you know, we have this like analytics layer that targets this retail customer, but then we have these institutional customers. And institutional customers are trying to look at larger sets of data. They're trying to plug into our APIs. You know, they're trying to, because for us, retail copy trading is the sexiest thing. Because I was operations manager at a digital marketing agency and things. So I have this like sort of marketing and data analytics background as well. And I know how much money Google makes. It's a lot.
Do you? I can imagine
clicks,
it's like ridiculous.
It's because they're providing data. It's like it's data as a service, and we can get to a similar level as well by layering this data.
Okay.
For example, one of the things we're working with is RPC providers, and they help validate. They add to the decentralized nature of things, but they also data that's not written to the chain, data that's just call data. So if you open up your wallet or you're checking your wallet, you have to ping the blockchain to see, hey, what's going on? What does this look like? Or, what's the value of this or whatever have you? RPC providers have that information, right? So now you have this, it's like a marketing pixel. And for those of you who don't understand what a marketing pixel is, it's I can see where you have been in the sessions that's live. It's your cookies, right?
Okay. So it's like collecting your data.
You've been here. I don't know who you are specifically, but I can see where you've been.
Yeah.
We have, this is your wallet. So we know your wallet. And for us, we're calling your wallet a login because that's your Web3 credential as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Where have you been? What have you interacted with? So this provides like very, very unique insights into protocol activity, times of day, where they're coming from, and then you can start to, suss out why they're doing that. So, we have these two layers for the analytics. Not a lot of people are doing analytics like that, and nobody's doing what we're doing in terms of layering it and working with these RPC providers. Then, the next step up is, the indexes, which is geared more towards our institutional clients. But the difference here from us and say index.finance or PyDAO or on Solana, there's there's Symmetry and there's Solrise, and people are always like, oh, what is it? Symmetry and Solana. We are nothing really like them.
Yeah,
we're absolutely not. We're so little like them. But when you try and explain it on a top level, like, hey, they're just baskets of assets. The difference with us and them is they have static collections of assets, so they don't change. They just will rebalance based off of, hey, this is 10%, this is 5%, this is blah, 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 blah. And it's only going to rebalance that asset. They do it slow. Index and PyDAO is obviously on Ethereum, so there's some value destruction there when they rebalance or reconstitute. And with Symmetry and Solrise, it's like a binary thing, like, oh, I'm going to add this asset or I'm not going to add this asset. It's very, very narrow what you're able to do with it.
So it's quite limited.
It's extremely limited in what you get, and they're great projects. We love them. We think they're great projects, but we're not like them, and we're gonna have them on Synchrony. There's no such thing as a competitor us because we want Synchrony to be this like
inclusive hub
of DeFi instruments. And down the road when we're cross chain, we want to be able to make indexes of multiple chain assets. Like I want Chainlink on Ethereum, but I also want Solana on Solana, and I want, whatever on AVAX and Polygon and Boba, so I can get an even, like, for me, I'm so lazy now as a retail investor.
Oh, 100%.
I just want one asset to rule them all, and so for indexes, we can do indexes of indexes as well. And that's where that's kind of going. It's just like, I can have an index that also has top 10 on Solana, top 10 on Ethereum, top 10 on Binance. It can have like a copy trade wallet. We can index literally any sort of set of data. Yeah, and I mean, this extends into NFT collections, which we're still working on the. I
was going to ask you about that, but yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on some of the functionality, and we can dig into that a little bit more if you got a question about it. And so there's a lot of ways that we can sort of index the data, and so it's a lot more appealing to institutionals, but like I mentioned earlier, it's also quite appealing to our retail investor. And then finally, the copy trading is really more retail oriented. It can be institutional if you're one of the people that wants to get on the leaderboard. Because anybody that, if I make money off of you and you're the leader copy trading wallet, you get a share of the action.
Really?
Because we're going to do this on a subscription basis as well.
Ooh.
So we're going to have, it's a tiered model. So there will be these, I mean, you see it all over. And my old boss used to say, you don't have to be smart, just recognize it and copy it effectively. So you see these models in a lot of other, you see it in like Hulu or Netflix. It's like Hulu, there's a free version, of this streaming service, and there's like ads. So I don't know if we're going to do the ad model, but what we'll do is like, maybe we'll have like a basic one where, you can copy trade these top 10 leaderboard wallets. And then if you want to pay the subscription for service, which can be done in fiat or by staking or spending SCY, so our utility token, then you're granted access to that as well. And then, a cut of that goes to the leader. And also there's incentive models on the index side. If you create an index, you can build in, these like fees into trading in and trading out of it.
Okay.
So there is some institutional, push there on the copy trading side, but no one does it like us. Like D-Hedge is a really good, or eToro.
eToro is really popular in the UK.
eToro is super popular, but eToro has a couple of things. It's custodial, and you're trusting these money managers to
you have to
be totally honest with everything. And so we have the best of both worlds. Like, instead of just, you can have free reign, but you can also like bind it to one of our indexes, which I mean, nothing's ever going to be totally safe, but it makes it a lot more safe than these other places. And it also speaks to, the blockchain ethos, which is, hey, we're decentralized. You don't need, it's trustless, right? I mean, trustless has like a weird, it's like sort of, it's like, I don't trust you. No. It means like you're not required to have trust in this thing, which is nice, which is, I think that's, that can, I mean, to get a little like kumbaya, whatever, I think that can help the world a little bit if we can have these communities that, because of verifiable, for example, blockchain data, that they're a good person. Talk about like, I remember hearing like, I forgot what country it was, but there's like, these cab services where it's not safe to take them at night if you're like alone by yourself.
Whoa.
But you gotta be careful. It's like a third world country, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
This I don't know if it's actually come to fruition, but there's like a blockchain cab company where you can verify this driver on chain as flawless record, blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah,
good.
blah. So there's a lot of these practical applications I see down the road. Right now, it's like, it's the DeFi like money thing, but I for sure see like tons and tons of beneficial outcomes from employing blockchain technology in other areas as well. So.
Or put people's mind at ease, because like we've all become so lazy, I think, like everyone. So you want to, if you can trust it and not have to worry about it, it takes away that part of it at least. So at least that's good. So that's good that you kind of like factor that in and stuff. I think that'll put a lot of people's mind at ease. You started talking about NFTs. I was going to ask you, like, what social features would you add to the platform? Like things that include in the use of NFTs or?
That's a great question. So my brother hates it when I do this. My brother, he's a bit of an NFT expert. He loves to. He's been working with Sotheby's and Digital Art Fair in Hong Kong, putting together these big and the Sotheby's DAFA event in Hong Kong like broke records for physical sales of NFTs. He actually bought me one. Well, he bought himself one and he bought me one, and I'm really into street art. And he ended up taking my one and he kept his one. I hope he sees this so he can see. He can still see. But it's in terms of like what Synchrony is going to do with NFTs, there's a couple of things, and I'll give you a little bit of alpha as much as I can. But in terms of indexing, people want access to these things, and I know people there's a lot of fun made of it, and I make fun of it too. Like the ETH rocks, like selling for millions of dollars. It's just like a JPEG that's like a Shutterstock.
It's a madness. It's such a madness.
I mean, we start to delve into the idea of value, and I roll my eyes because I know everybody's saying this, but metaverse, NFT, like metaverse
on everyone's tongue right now.
But I mean that's what it is. It's just like this overlay and it's augmented reality. That's metaverse. This is augmented reality. I think that people want to see what it's about, and what better way to do it than having potentially fractionalized NFTs that you can get a piece of other system where we can we can give people diversified exposure to a group of assets or even being able to collect and categorize them and see what the floor price is across all these different ecosystems, across all these different chains. You know, that's a big thing we're trying to do, is interoperability of data. You know, we can start there. We can start with the data, and then we can go with the writing to and from chains, right?
Yeah.
So like that's one way we're working with NFTs. The other way we're working with NFTs is we actually have our own NFT that we're going to, well, there's two, right? We just did something with SoulRaiser which is very interesting. I think this is just one of the coolest things that we've got to be a part of, and we were the first. Just like, and it almost didn't work. I mean, I have so many stories. It almost
Did you say almost didn't work?
It almost didn't work because there was some hiccups when it launched, and then we didn't have the marketplaces to sell them. We didn't have these things set up. I don't know what, like, there's so many things going on. You know, there's only like 6 of us, so we just expected like, oh yeah, you got like a marketplace, you can mint, buy, sell NFTs on this other thing. Like, nope, we just got these NFTs in people's wallets. Like, oh, I guess people just have an NFT they can look at for like 14 days. But what ended up happening is we got onto what did we get? We Magic Eden and what was the other one? Man, I'm gonna kill myself. It was Magic Eden, and well, it was. I want to find Digitalize. Is it Digitalize? We got on. I think it was Digitalize. Man, I have such a bad memory sometimes. Anyway, we ended up reaching out to these NFT platforms, and they're like, yeah, absolutely. Come on over. They expedited our verification. That's another reason why I love the Solana ecosystem, because it's small, and the people who are in it, they know how to code in Rust, and that requires like a certain amount of
so much talent,
tenacity. I'm not the Rust developer. I do like front end stuff. I know how to write Solidity
I wish.
But you know, we were able to get our foot in the door in these ecosystems, and we were able to see our NFTs trade before they went live. These NFTs, which represent allocation of SCY, and that to me is one of I don't know how long this will last, at least in highly regulatory countries, because it could potentially be viewed as a security. I'm not an expert. This is not legal, financial, medical advice.
Medical.
I always say that, and I'm like, but it is relationship advice. You know what I mean? But you know, it does represent a very interesting vehicle for price discovery, for interest, for, you know, I want to do afterwards, that when the dust settles, what I want to do is a case study on this and see a couple of things, see how, you know, it performed, how it traded within that, you know, within these other marketplaces, these NFT marketplaces, see how that looked. What did that, and was there any correlation to anything outside of that? And how does that look compared to our own launch? And were there similar, you know, milestones or movements that happened there? Was there any correlation? You know, did one lead into the other? Like, there's just so many interesting things to come from this, and we're the first to do it. So I'll let you know how it goes afterwards. I love writing about this sort of thing, like, you know, interpreting data, being able to make decisions off of it. Because I remember for a long time, big data, that was like the metaverse of 2013, or I don't know, whenever it was.
Such a long time ago.
And it's just like, get the data. It's not about getting the data. It's about interpreting. That's why we have, you know, data scientists on the team. That's why we're employing machine learning to make sense of these things. So yeah, like it's very interesting. This IDO minted as an NFT. I think it's very, it's a really unique thing. I'm not actually going to, like that. They got me one. They sent me one. Someone sent me one, and I'm not actually gonna do anything with it. I'm just gonna hold it as like a keepsake. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it forever. Hand it over to your kids. Yeah. So maybe like it'll be a collectible thing later on. I don't know.
Just keep it.
I'm just curious to see if there's anybody else that follows. So there's all these like little sub questions. But anyway, so that's the SoulRaiser NFT IDO. I just think it's one of the more interesting things that just kind of went under the radar. Like, even the rest of my team's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm like, you guys don't understand. This is really like cool. this is like some
this
new
is like history.
Yeah. Degen DeFi stuff. Like, this is really cool. Like, you guys, like, this is really cool. Anyway, the last thing we're doing with NFTs, I'm not going to say the name, but we are doing our own one that is not a allocation thing. It's a collectible.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Okay. So how would it work?
I have a really weird love for frogs.
Do you?
This is something my brothers and I like. We're just
Why
like,
so?
hey frog, like, you know, I don't know why I have this like frog tattoo right here. Yeah.
Oh wow, you're actually a frog lover.
Cute little frog tattoo.
Yeah. You've got like pictures of frogs all over your wall.
Like, I got lots of frogs, like frog like stuffed animals and stuff. It's and yeah, we have like a lot of frog reaction emojis.
That's like
on our Telegram.
Oh, like is it like a spirit animal thing? You know, like when people say they've got like spirit animals.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like just like a mascot. My spirit animal is a killer whale. Yeah,
a killer whale.
Yeah, it's a killer
Not even
whale.
just
Yeah,
a whale.
orca. Yeah, there's a whole. If you had time, if you had 30 minutes, I could tell you all about killer whales and frogs. But this is about Synchrony.
Killer whales.
Anyway, we're doing our own collectible utility NFT. Basically, we want to engage the community. We want, like, TradFi is like really serious. Like, obviously we're very serious about, you know, security. We're very serious about like trying to like help the community and help people get onboarded into crypto, but it doesn't need to be so serious that like everything's an Excel spreadsheet. So, you know, as part of the social thing, you know, we've got these, you know, collectible utility NFTs that people can use as their profile. We're going to use it to grant people access to, like, you know, some of the alpha and beta like tests of the platform. It'll give them, you know, priority access to our Discords, a lot of these social channels. There's like a lot of like these. It's just like, it's like an access token to these other things. And there's also, because it's a very limited run, it's like, hey, you are the first. And then down the road, if you have this, it's like, it might grant you access to more things. Like this is the golden ticket to get into this next thing, to get into like actual, you know, in real life events, that sort of thing. Like, cause we, you know, going back to my, you know, my branding, you know, marketing days, you know, you speak to your core audience as a brand, and you don't change who you're speaking to, but your audience will grow. And people who aren't part of that, they want to be part of it. They want to be, and they're like outside looking in. And that's what we want to do as well, because you know, we've built an amazing community, especially like our early adopters, people like yourself who got in and saw the value with us. We want to be able to, exactly. And you know, there's being able to say you're one of the early ones. So we're really excited. I mean for me too, I want to help people see the value of NFTs outside of like you know, 128-bit like thing that sells for like tens of thousands of dollars. Hey, you know, at the end of the day, what's something worth what someone will pay for it? Right.
Exactly.
So
that's what it is.
If Eminem spends, you know, however many millions of dollars on a Bored Ape, like Yacht Club NFT,
it's mad how much they go for.
It's worth that much. And you know, if Snoop Dogg buys a plot of land in Decentralised, and someone spends like $420,000 to get a plot of land next to him, it's worth that.
Yeah, it's worth that. Yeah. You make a point. It's true.
I want to go back to like, you know, that first hackathon I was in was, hey, I didn't see it as like, oh, let's make these collectible things. Although there's huge value and provenance for art, that sort of thing. I want to use it for supply chain. That was like my first thing. It's like, oh, this can help revolutionize supply chain. It can be this technology that sits on top of everything else. And I'm really interested in you know, the crossover between supply chain and DeFi, where you know, you have these huge containers full of items that are worth, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and billions of dollars, and they're just on a ship for 3 months. And I know you have insurance and stuff, but you know, just as an idea, just like taking it from my head. Well, what if we collateralize that? You know, let me collateralize 30% of that. If it gets lost at sea, insurance covers it, and you get whatever
you reward your money back.
For allowing me to borrow that money against it. And I'll give you like an interest rate, and then I'll lend that on FTX. and I'll get 20% in a stable coin. You know what I mean? Like
you're like so ahead of the game. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's like take this like one step further. So I do think, and supply chain's just an area that I happen to have like a little bit more. I'm a man with many knives, none of them very sharp. But this is just one of these areas that I have like some background in. But there's tons. Automotive. I'm sure we could find something in automotive. You know what I mean? So there's a ton of space for NFTs, and so we're gonna experiment with it. We've got our own one coming out. I'm really excited about, and the artists we have on it are phenomenal to help us do it. I didn't draw it. I'm not good at drawing.
You?
But
I heard that you're really good at art, though.
No. I don't have enough time.
In your sleep.
But we got some great artists on it, and we want to reward them. I do see that as being an equalizer for artists who are like starving. Like every artist I know is like starving. The air's so thin, between anything other than a superstar. If you're an actor, writer, artist of any sort, this can help do that. 100%. This can make these communities like smaller. You can speak, from a branding standpoint, you can speak more towards this group of people, and it's like Patreon, right? They're all trying to, they want to help you because they see the value in you. So I don't need to be Taylor Swift. I don't need to have like 100 million albums. She's a great business woman.
She is 100%. She's got like a million houses.
And she knows she's got a formula. Do I listen to her music? No, except for maybe Shake It Off sometimes because it's like really weird earworm.
In the morning.
It's like my ringtone or something. But it is a great equalizer. And so, I wanted to bring some of my my artist friends on.
Cool.
So we got 2 locked in right now. It's generative as well. So there's going to be, a limited amount. We have all that code and everything written. So anyway, that's what we're doing with NFTs anyway.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
The NFT is the interesting one. It's crazy. Like it's not that it's just popped on the scene because I've not been doing crypto nearly as long as you. I've been doing it only for 1 year, so I can't say I've been doing it.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It's been. Do you know what? It's been a very interesting 1 year, to be fair. But NFTs is like, it's always on the topic of people's mouths, like metaverse, NFTs, like you hear it all the time. It's just non-stop. Thank you so much, Andy. It was an absolute pleasure to have Andy from Synchrony, who's one of the co-founders of Synchrony, here with us today to provide us more information about Synchrony, which is coming out January the 5th, and it'll be available on Gate.io and Raydium. They have more SEC listings to come, so definitely keep your eye out for Q1. They've got a lot of great things on the radar. They also have a lot of great things coming out in Q3, so we have to keep Synchrony on the radar. Super duper duper exciting gem that we definitely are super bullish on. Okay, and they value their community so much. So really amazing team. The whole of the Synchrony team are absolutely amazing, and they really care about the community. So you guys, if you've got anything you want to say to them, you can also get in touch with them on Twitter, on Telegram, on their Discord. Really great team, so they'll definitely respond to you and get back to you. Okay guys, if you do want to take part in the competition, we've got $420 up for grabs. Winners will be picked completely at random. You just need to fill in the link below, which is a few things that you have to do, like retweet, just a few things, and you have a chance of winning $420. We'll share out between 4 different winners. Okay, so guys, don't want to miss out on that one, and I'll catch you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye.